Today, we're checking out the brand new Glock 45. I want a gun that I can make completely mine. The best duty gun out the box that I can make into the best duty gun for me. Did we accomplish that? The story's not all the way written yet, so I don't know. But after training with this gun for about a week and a half, I would say this gun is definitely a fantastic gun for duty. It's got a decent point of aim. Obviously, Glocks have kind of an overly aggressive grip angle, so you do have to get accustomed to shooting them. Your hand slides a little bit more forward as the grip angle is not like the 1911, more straight up and down. It's more aggressive, so you got to get used to that. Like so. And once you kind of master the grip and the grip angle, you'll be able to hit A-zone shots basically every single time. Doesn't really matter the distance, you can get it done. The sights are whatever. Normal plastic Glock sights, 3 dots with the notch. The controls, some of them are ambi, some of them are reversible. Reversible mag release for you lefties out there. God have mercy on your soul. I'm so sorry. The world is not fair. Ambidextrous slide lock. I don't need it ambi, but maybe you do. This is kind of small. It could be bigger. So I'll probably change this out, to be just frank. The slide, these serrations are nice and thick. You definitely want good serrations if you need to work your gun out of a jam or whatever. You want to be able to get in there and really manipulate it. That's good. It's got enough grip on it, and let's first of all, let's talk about the texture on the grip. The texture is fine. I've always been really interested in getting a gun stippled, like just going balls to the walls crazy and just getting the whole gun frame just stippled to be whatever I want it to be. The aftermarket support for Glock is super good, so there's a few guys out there, including Tommy Gun Stippling. I think I'm going to hit him up and see if we can't get something cool done to get the frame kind of crafted to my liking. But even just stock, running it just the way it is, it's fantastic. I have no problem with it. It's not nearly as like ultra ergonomic as, say, like the Walther PDP. And maybe we should do a versus video with this. Because, I mean, if you look at the Walther PDP and just, oh my gosh. Whew. This thing is, it fits your hand like a glove. And some might say, well, if the Walther PDP is just the texturing and the way it's ergonomically shaped is so much better, why go with the Glock? That's a good question, and we'll save that for the verses, but I'll suffice to say that you can get over it not being the most ergonomic or the most perfectly textured. That's fine. Now, what people don't tell you when you're buying a gun is when you buy a gun, you're going to want to get 5 to 10 magazines. First of all, because magazines are actually a perishable product, as in they can go bad, they can break, you have to change springs out, they can completely bust, and then you might want to buy a whole new mag. Glock mags are so ubiquitous, as in they're everywhere. If the world went to poop, if the aliens showed up tomorrow and completely destroyed everything and you're out here fighting for your life, you'll be able to find Glock mags somewhere. Some police station, somebody's grandma's car, there's a Glock mag in there. So you'll always have a mag, and you'll probably always have ammo that fits in those mags. Let's just be for real, especially if you're talking about 9mm. So, not that you should be worried about that. That's not a big concern for most of us. What you want to know is if you want to have a lot of mags because you're out here training, you don't want to always have to be loading magazines, or even you want to have enough mags that you can kind of leave a few full all the time. You can buy 3 to 5 easily because they're only like 25 bucks, or you can get the aftermarket P mags for like, I think $15 or $20, depending on where we are in inflation. I want to talk about the trigger. It's a little springy. A little springy. You get to the wall. There's a little bit of a wall, little creep. creep, creep. Snuck up on me. Ooh. The trigger is actually a lot better than I really would have expected it to be, especially even just in dry fire. You get to the wall, there's a little bit of creep, and then it breaks. It's very predictable. I don't have a problem with it. Do I want a Glock performance trigger in it? Maybe. I think once you get to 25 yards, it starts to show its butt a little bit. Like, come on. This is about 25 yards. Yeah, at 25 yards, I noticed that my accuracy with this gun starts to dip. And part of that is when you're focusing on your front sight, it's hard to target focus and it's hard to really nail those shots at 25 yards. But between these two targets, I was able to put the shots pretty much where I want. On a man-sized target, the man would have holes in them. In the man-sized target. But just realistically, do you want something that's a little bit crispy or a little bit more predictable? Maybe, but I think this, out of the box, the stock trigger will do. Now for me, like I said, this is a work gun. This is a duty gun. I needed to be able to perform reliably, pretty much 100% reliably. How much of the parts do I want to change on it that impact the actual function of the gun? That's a good question. I don't want to change just everything. So, did I already? Is there another mag somewhere? Is it here? Almost lost a mag. So, yeah, I mean, the gun runs. The gun runs. I'm so old. I can't bend down without grunting. My wife makes fun of me. So, yeah, I think Glock 45 is fantastic. I have no qualms with it. I do think that you can do a few things to make it a little bit more pleasant overall. You can, undercut the trigger guard a little bit. You could get an extended slide stop. You can add a light. We'll probably be adding the X300 Turbo because I want to test out the Enigma floodlight holster. Those things are pretty cool. So, light, Surefire X300 Turbo. And we will be milling the slide for a red dot, probably the Holosun EPS. Holosun did send one out, so expect a review on that soon. So averaging 1.4 until that last one, that was a 1.79. Really, for me, I carry appendix even when I carry at work. So my thing is, do I have enough grip to kind of get to it? And also, can I conceal it somewhat? Because I don't need perfect concealment with what this gun is for, but I do want to have the option to conceal. So, you want to know about the Glock 45. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. I'd buy it twice if I could. I might buy a second one for real. I might buy a second one for real, because I think this is just one of the more perfect platforms for really getting a full-size grip, but also being able to fit the rest of my holsters, such as I have an old T-Rex Arms holster that I don't wear anymore. I have a Filster Pro Series holster. Those are cool. And having good holster compatibility is one of the #1 things with a gun. So understand that. You buy a Glock and you're going to be able to access all of the modifications, but also pretty much the best prices on actual accessories. That's going to make your life a little bit easier. So if you have any questions, let me know. Maybe we'll do a follow-up video after 1,000 rounds or whatever. But yeah, not a bad option. See you next time.